Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Essentials.tf Twitch monthly tournament. And we're here with another game for you. Of course, the STVs are less laggy this time, so everything should be smoothed out. It is BLANC Esports taking on Midnight Society here on Snakewater is our map. And these two teams are kind of even as well. Midnight Society are one of the top open teams, currently with a 6-0 record in ESEA Open. And then BLANC Esports are a IM team who are doing pretty well, but not great. Like not 6-0 well. I think they're 4-1 right now in ESEA Intermediate.
Yes. I'm having some sort of issue with the STV. Did you guys just get that?
I am getting this issue as well.
Yeah, what does that even mean? Well, anyways.
I think we can just get back in here. This shouldn't be an issue because I'm reconnecting right now and I'm like mostly connected. So let's just assume that won't happen again and that it will fix itself.
Yep.
Because otherwise, these teams look to be pretty good. I'm hoping if we get a game that's even like 2/3 as close as the last game, I'll be very, very happy.
Yeah, this should be pretty good. I mean, this is kind of another one of those games that you're going to see often in these tournaments, which is one of the wonderful benefits of having a tournament where anyone can enter. You get a chance to see a lot of the players who would be considered upcoming, players that have potential to maybe be an invite one day. And yeah, it's going to be the case here, I think.
Yeah, like usually when we're watching TF2 in North America, or at least when I'm watching TF2 in North America, it's kind of like the same players over and over again. Like, yeah, we've seen Banny, all right, we've seen Blaze and all these like top level players, but now's when we get to see the players that you've heard of, you've seen on the forums, you know their names, but you haven't necessarily seen them play a whole lot. So I really enjoy watching these tournaments, and it should be really exciting here as we get these two teams going head to head on Snakewater. And so yeah, we have 12 in the server. I think they're ready to go. It's already 7:30 Eastern, so I'm assuming they're almost ready. And yeah, I think we have the players in the server. I don't know what position everybody's playing, but we can go over the rosters. BLANC Esports are going to be playing with Space Cadet, Marquis, who is Dish Soap, Brian, Terry, Ghost Hack, and Hedgehog Hero.
Yeah, and over on the side of Midnight, they have Jen on demo, Perfection on Scout, Nuthouse on Scout, who's known as he's a Prem Scout from Europe, which some of you may be recognizing him from, or if you're thinking to yourself, where do I know that name? He is a European Prem Scout, so I'd imagine he'll probably be a big factor in this game. They have Lazar on Medic, Dunker on Soldier, and Yuki on Soldier, not to be confused with the legendary Yuki Soldier. This is a less legendary, but maybe, potentially in the future as legendary Yuki Soldier.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't move to Australia, he should be we shouldn't have to confuse him with the other player. He shouldn't have to change his name. But Yuki, maybe a name that old school players might remember from iSeries or watching Oceania Esports. So yeah, this will be a really exciting match. I've heard a lot more of the BLANC players than I have of the Midnight Society guys, and maybe that's just because they're more active on the forums, or because I was watching Open and IM when they were coming up in it. So I'm excited to see how they can do, see how they've improved. A lot of these players I've seen play before on their team, and yeah, I've messaged the leader of Midnight Society. I've told them that they're ready to start up whenever they're good to go. So it should be just a matter of time here.
Yeah, I'd imagine at the end of the day, I'm assuming it's BLANC Esports.
Is it BLANC?
Yeah, a little, getting a little fancy with it. But I'd imagine they're going to take this match.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly the potential for Midnight to get around 2, maybe even 3. But at the end of the day, I do think BLANC Esports are going to take this. They just have a bit more experience on their side. They have some good soldiers there. Space Cadet is definitely a solid soldier with good aim. Hedgehog, a pretty nutty demo. Definitely one of the upcoming demos to watch. He has approximately 100 different clips of Skyshot pipe air box hits, air shots on the stream highlights thread in TFTV. So definitely a pretty nutty demo. So I'd imagine that at the end of the day, this should be a game in their hands. But there's always that potential, and especially with Nuthouse playing. I mean, that's going to be, he could definitely be the key factor here for an upset win on the side of Midnight.
The players have readied up, and we have heard the countdown begin. So here we go. It is round 2 of Essentials.tf monthly tournament sponsored by Twitch. Coming out on the Snakewater mid, we're going to be seeing G-Gen and Hedgehog Hero arriving at this middle point. Changing some spam. We just saw this map in the last week at the SEA, so all players should be very used to it. Their strats are in tip-top shape as Brian's walking across this point. Looking to get aggressive. We'll see who wants to actually commit to this. Perfection's actually running across the point, trying to get some damage down, but it's going to be Brian, the first one to go down, and Yuki's doing a lot of good damage down onto Terry. Couldn't quite get the frag. He's backing off now. Space Cadet as well for the other team is in behind, and he's going to meet some players that he doesn't really want to meet right now. A couple of scouts. Perfection cleans him up, and there's still some fighting going on in this middle point. You see Dish Soap still running around, Ghost Stack as well, but Hedgehog gets a nice sticky down onto Perfection. That could turn the ties. G-Gen's in a lot of trouble, does get taken down, and now Lizard's a little bit alone. Ghost Stack chases him down. He does have a scout with him now, and Nuthouse is going to hit a couple of quick shots and take down the aggressive scout player. So keeping their medic alive, but it is going to be BLANC who take this middle point.
Yeah, fairly slow mid, as early soldier aggression was nowhere to be found. Both teams just taking it slow. Nuthouse got the opening pick, but didn't result in a mid win, as BLANC are trying to get a pressure force here, and they are going to be able to. Oh my god, Perfection just domes Marquis, so actually looking fairly good for Midnight. The problem is they're going to have to push with the sniper here, so he's going to have to make it valuable by getting some more of those headshots. But it looks like potentially this might just be a hold. Yeah, that is going to be the case here. I'd imagine that they're just going to be trying to pressure up, maybe near lower. Yeah, and it looks like that's what they might be doing. Perfection going to try to get a peek in here. Soldier protecting him, not able to connect the shot, so they're going to just be waiting for Perfection to do something as far as getting that pick. And on the side of BLANC, they're going to be trying to either pick off Perfection and push off that, and that's actually going to happen. Marquis makes it, he gets that headshot. So BLANC with an opportunity to pressure here with Uber's not in play, maybe get some space lower and get a wider peek for their sniper.
Great shot by Dish Soap, and he's getting some bigger angles as well as they walk in. You can see the side of Midnight Society. They gotta be very careful with how these angles play out. Yuki with a big bomb now, trying to distract the sniper or anything he can do, but Ghost Stack takes him down before he can really cause too much pain. So that's gonna make it really tough to hold on the blue side, and they are gonna get to the forest. Great job by Brian to be able to pop off the Midnight Society medic there. And Terry pops in kind, so this is going to be an even overcharge trade. And they're just going to use it to get out. I guess they didn't really like how that fight was turning out for them. BLANC Esports are retreating back to this middle point, and they're going to let things reset a little bit. It seemed like they were favoring themselves in the sniper battle, so maybe just let that happen again and get a little bit better of a pick.
Yeah, the problem with the sniper there is once you do push in and the Ubers are traded, that sniper needs to be starting to really, fire up and hit some shots, and it just didn't happen. And it's a tough thing to do, especially in those chaotic moments where is there going to be a Ubered soldier landing on me, and you're trying to check your 180 degrees there and see what's going on. It's hard to get the shots off in that situation. So at this point, it's stalemate out as both teams going back to 100% Uber. Marquis still just looking for a head to click on. No off classes on the side of Midnight, so at this point they're just going to post up and try not to get headshot while simultaneously getting the pick onto the sniper. Is what I'd imagine they're trying to do. Marquis just peeking in through the saw here, not really getting too many targets on screen though.
Yeah, ideally, I mean, what they want on the side of Midnight Society is they want the sniper to get just a little bit too aggressive, as he almost peeked out of that window and would have been sticky trap. But if they can catch the sniper out, maybe they can throw a soldier in and try to get something off of that. At this point, they're more betting on a mistake on the side of BLANC than they are trying to go for something themselves. And there's a very aggressive peek by Dish Soap. He does get taken down by some rollers of G-Gen, so not successful for him, but if he had hit that shot, that would have been pretty nutty. We'll see what the counter response is on the side of Midnight's. Looks like it could be Yuki. He's already here in the saw, and he's at least going to have to trade out, but I don't even think he's even going to get that. Brian hits him with that rock, and he bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Space Cadet not done yet, though, and a big fast bomb right in on the medic, and he drops it. Oh, no, wow. Lizard wanted to hold on so bad, but sometimes you just got to pop it.
Yeah, what a direct. And now Scout's getting aggressive, but I mean, to what result? They get a pick onto a soldier? I mean, not going to be paying dividends there at all for Midnight. Now they have a soldier and still behind. He's either going to need to make a miracle play or get out of there. He is fighting Marquis. If he could trade 1-for-1, that wouldn't be a terrible result, but he's not able to. Is Yuki now potentially overextended too? I mean, at this point now, definitely overextended. He needs to get this force or he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and he is in trouble. He does go down. And now at this point, 2 picks, no soldier spam to be coming in when they walk in with the Uber. 80% ad. BLANC are definitely going to be pushing here.
Absolutely. You can see they're already all under on this point, trying to push forwards. Ghost Stack getting a lot of damage down onto Lizard. They want to get this frag before he can sneak back into spawn, but this team was sort of there to be able to protect the medic, and he's going to get back exactly what he needs to do. But Space Cadet still coming in this right-hand side. Terry in a little bit of trouble too, but they managed to clean up the players who were all on him. Space Cadet, if he can get anything crazy here, he's not going to be able to. Yuki ends up hitting him with some splash damage and taking him down. So that's no successful bombs on either of the soldiers. Terry and Liz are both staying alive, but now we see poking out of this last point. Midnight are looking to try to take it off them. Not a whole lot of contestation coming out from BLANC. Looks like they're just going to retreat back to mid, kind of where they like it.
Yeah, BLANC with an unimpactful Uber there, not really able to get the frags or positioning, and it just sort of ended up with them hanging around in lobby and eventually having a retreat. So now building up that Uber on mid, both teams going to have it again. Back to this mid to 2 stalemate situation, and you can expect someone from BLANC, Roamer most likely, of course, to go for play here. But actually, it looks like Midnight, they're gaining some ground in Saw, and they actually might get the pick. Yeah, Bryant is going to go down. So it looks like at this point, Midnight, they do want to come in. Yeah, the Ubers are being traded onto mid right now. Dunker just trying to stay alive in that Saw room. Marquis in behind. Midnight, they're just trying to worry about this flank here while trying to gain as much ground as they can. Marquis a little overextended, and he goes down, and now look at this flank from Midnight. They're coming in aggressive. Wow. Perfection is a fearless scout if I've ever seen one. He is not afraid to hold W, and he's going to get a pick there. And now 3 players looking at the respawn screen here for BLANC, and Midnight, they're going to have an opportunity here to at least cap mid, and potentially, yeah, they still have these scout spawns, so, you know, if they move with some haste, it's possible they could get into 2 here.
Alrighty, this is a similar match to the one we watched just before this. It's still 0-0 on the clock. It's been a lot of back and forth so far. Now we're going to see the Midnight Society run in onto the second point. Ideally, they can get it without losing too many of their players, and they can just bully the enemy team out of this. But with that 1-for-1 trade going down, Ghost Stack managed to get a quick frag onto Nuthouse. That could turn the tables here if we see any more aggression coming out. Open up for some players. Perfection does try to get aggressive, but he does get taken down, and Terry goes down right before G-Gen gets taken down again. Hits a nice pipe at the end there, but Lizard is in a lot of trouble. 2 soldiers bombing in him, and he gets destroyed by their rockets. Dunker gonna try to do anything as he bombs in, but Space Cadet's gonna be able to take him down. So that leaves only Nuthouse left alive for his team. Midnight Society, he's hiding in this kitchen area. Can he get anything sneaky? That's the question. Looks like he's gonna back off.
Yeah, indecision on the tail end of that fight there on the side of Midnight. Their medic, not sure if he was, you know, if the team was able to win the fight, if he should stay in, get out, and you know, Jen did get that pick onto Terry, the medic, over on the side of BLANC, but just not able to convert it into a fight win, and they're going to be on the back foot here. So, a bit of a disadvantage. Possible BLANC could try to work something off, but it will be difficult. They'd have to get onto Lazar very quickly during the Uber.
Yeah, it's about 30% Uber advantage. They're building it pretty fast. We'll kind of watch their positioning and see if they want to go for it. They are getting aggressive here in Saw, and they're only at 97, so this could be a sign they're ready to go, and that frag on a Dunker is going to help them quite a lot, but Terry walks into a sticky trap, and oh, that's going to be all she wrote for this push. We'll see if they can actually get anything else. They throw their soldier in. Almost got the frag onto Lizard. You see he's so low. He's on 15 HP right now, and he's already regened a bit. They're going to be a very big, scrappy fight going on here. G-Gen, the sole survivor on this middle point. Hedgehog Heroes all the way back on second. Didn't go in for that frag, and Lizard survives.
Yeah, Jen is laying down the combo damage at the end. They're getting the last 2 necessary frags, and at this point, Midnight, massive advantage, player advantage. Advantages in all respects of the game. They should be able to get 2 here with relative ease uncontested. It looks like Marquis is kind of peeking there while simultaneously building. It's potentially scary if he eats a rocket, but he is going to get out of there, and BLANC, they're going to be just setting up in last. No NGs or heavies spotted yet. They do have the sniper, but they might need to get, you know, heavy pyro, a quick delay class going. But actually, Midnight, they're taking their sweet time here, and it's allowing Terry to just keep building. Uber is going to come in on the left side.
Yeah, already 95% from Terry, so he will get it in the middle of this fight. He's not in any danger right at this moment. Yuki and Space Cadet both going to end up trading down, making it a 5v5 right now, and Terry pops his Uber charge off. We see Perfection still in the back line, still dealing some damage onto Hedgehog, but Hedgehog is going to get flashed, and the Scout takes down Perfection, so good job by Dish Soap. Nuthouse still in as well, does get the frag on a Dish Soap, but now it's only Ghostak and Terry trying to defend this against 4 players, unless the medic can kill 4 players on his own. I don't think that's going to happen. Looks like 1-0 Midnight Society are going to get the first round.
Yeah, the Nuthouse factor coming into play at the end of that fight there. It looked like Midnight wouldn't be able to take that last because they were just moving at a snail's pace, and Terry able to get to his 100% Uber, but they didn't get the frags when he did get that Uber off since they had to run out of the spawn, and Midnight just so far away. Nuthouse coming back in, fearless, just gets the picks on the flank and works out for Midnight.
Now coming to this second mid-fight, important for both teams to extend the lead and tie it up. We'll see Brian gonna be the first one getting aggressive right onto GGen. A nice rocket to be able to get that first initial frag, but he does get taken down because of it. Terry's so far aggressive with the rest of his team in. They get a frag on a Yuki. Perfection trying to make some sort of an advantage off of this. Does get the frag onto the Scout, but taken down by Dish Soap. So that leaves only Lizar left alive for his team on 45% Uber charge, running all the way back to last at Disaster.
Yeah, Perfection, for reasons unknown, is now on Soldier and Dunker's on Scout. I'm not really sure what that switch is about. Regardless, that is going to be a mid-win for BLANC. Just all-out aggression there, supporting their bombing soldiers, exactly what they need to do to claim a nice mid-win. Czar not able to build for a while, so he's not quite on the Uber, but BLANC, assuming he is, not a bad assumption. I mean, it wouldn't be a great time to push, so at some point here, you can imagine they're going to be sending in possibly the double sack for the ever-popular double sack, and at this point, Midnight, they're just kind of waiting. Jen getting a little aggressive there in the lobby, and yeah, here comes the Soldier, Space Cadet in the air. He's not going to be able to give up. So, oh my god, the Marquis gets 2! How they all looked at Space Cadet, who was in the air, and Marquis just ran in and 2 shots, so easy push potentially coming here for BLANC.
Yeah, they're going to have 100% Uber charge just to play with. Yuki tries to get that force off early, and he is successful in that. Of course, he does trade his life to get that. Now, a lot of point time coming up from Ghostak. They got to make a lot of ground if they're going to make that happen. They're not going to be able to. That ties it at 1. BLANC with a very fast and dominating round, getting right back in here, tying the game.
Oh man, that looked like it was just going to be a solo Soldier coming in. They were all looking at him, trying to get the air shots off. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I'm not sure if it was called that it was a double sack and Marquis just came a little late, or if he recognized, like, hold on, I can get in right now. Regardless, massive, massive play from him. So at that point now, it's going to be tied 1-1.
With this next mid-fight, again, it's basically a clean slate, but this time there's 17.5 minutes remaining. Lizar, again, juggled very early and taken down by the Scout. Great job by Dish Up. You look at that one. Perfection, the last player left alive, along with Yuki still fighting in this middle point, but he's going to get cleaned up by Dish Soap. Now we see nothing at all. Hedgehog Hero shuts down the bombing Soldier, and this is looking like it's going to be a quick repeat of the last round.
Yeah, the BLANC aggression is ruthless on these mids. Last 2 mids in a row, just the Soldiers, Brian and Space Cadet, not holding anything back. They just go right in. They do huge damage, and you can just see the rest of the BLANC team. They're all grouped up, everyone buffed. They just rush across the point immediately. They're not holding back, and they're just getting easy mids right here. So at this point, looks like they can push last again. Yuki, he's getting the gun up, but it's just going to be at a level 1. So BLANC, they're going to need to take the gun out. They're definitely taking their time here. They're just getting the buffs, which isn't too big of an issue since their Uber is so massive. Yeah, they're coming down on the left again.
Yeah, they get the gun immediately. That's exactly what they need to do it. There is a Pyro coming out here from Perfection. He gets back on the spawn and hits that resub, so he's not going to end up dying. But there's a lot of damage happening from Space Cadet on this left-hand side. Killed by Dunker, and another Scout frag coming out by Nuthouse. Gets the frag on a Ghostak. Terry is long gone back with the Demo Man Hedgehog Hero. That was a complete disaster of a push and didn't get any frags at all.
Yeah, and Perfection getting so aggressive on Scout again. I don't know why he switched to Soldier, but he's going to be making his escape here on Scout. Lazar, 50% Uber ad. They're going to be able to push mid here. They're trying to go from lower Perfection. Just keeping up the aggression. Soldier and Kitchen, he's going to be on the retreat, and they're going to try to get this force out. Brian is in deep, and he does get the force. He's going to be trading his life for that, and now Dunker potentially getting a frag too. Yeah, actually, that's Jen who catches out Ghostak. So 2 picks here. It's possible that Midnight could keep up the aggression. Terry going to have the Uber soon, but they might be able to get this 2 cap.
Yeah, they should be able to. I mean, BLANC don't want to let that happen. You can tell they're kind of getting aggressive on this upper left-hand side, but now that all the players are here on the blue team, big shot coming up from Yuki to take down Dish Soap, but with only 5 left alive, they have to back off to this last point. and try to do their best to hold it. They have a large Uber advantage right now, so BLANC, they got a couple different options. They can just try to hold it, or they can do this and go aggressive. Get the frag on Yuki, another quick one onto Dunker. Now they changed the Uber charge target down over to the Scout. Doing a good job there. Ghost Stack gets the pistol frag on a Nut House. That's three, make it 4 players going down. Hedgehog Hero takes down G-Gen, and with only Lizar and Perfect left alive, they have to run all the way back to their forward spawn on mid.
Yeah, players on the side of Midnight just hanging in too long and cost the team dearly. Soldier's so aggressive. How does he get Lizar there? Oh my god, Brian just gets launched into that just cluster of Midnight players and somehow connects to the rockets onto the medic. Incredible from him. Perfection getting aggressive, trying to return the favor. And oh, so much damage onto Terry. Look at all the Midnight players coming in right now. They actually might win this fight. Ghost Stack so low. Dunker trying to make something happen and lower. Perfection now onto the medic. He's still alive somehow. He's just dodging away.
Jeez.
Oh, Demo tries to come in to save him, but not enough health or ammo loaded there from Hedgehog. He's not able to make it happen. And Midnight with just the all-out aggression after losing their med. And look at this, they're claiming another frag in lobby. I mean, they might be able to push last right now. There's only 2 up on the side of BLANC.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have this opportunity to come into the last. They don't quite have all the players, and Respawn's coming in 1 second. Losing Perfection there, I would be very cautious if they're going to try, but Nut House is on the point, and they had the off classes, and they weren't able to get onto that and stop it, so a bit of a misplay there, if I do say, from BLANC. That's going to let it be 2-1 for Midnight Society.
Brian made that huge play, somehow just getting onto Lizar, and then after that, I mean, the gear just shifted for Midnight. They went into overdrive. Their entire team just launched themselves at BLANC, and they just hit every shot. I mean, that really just came down to a superior DM fight on their side, and just well played by them.
BLANC now, they want to try to swing it back in their favor. Space Cadet going to the enemy team's kitchen very early, and Brian with a big bomb gets some rockets down onto the medic and gets that one perfectly, exactly what everybody needed to do. Terry died in that, but it's not going to be too big of a deal because everybody goes down on the side of Midnight Society, and there's still 4 left alive for BLANC.
Yeah, Brian with 4 frags on that mid bomb. That's insanity. I mean, he just destroys the entire team on that bomb. So, I mean, these soldiers on the side of BLANC, they're really putting in a massive effort here. And despite that, still down 2-1. So the rest of the team going to need to step it up, and they're just going to need to play better as a team on the rest of the game. Their mids have been excellent, but the rest of their game is just not up to par. So they're going to have to really switch something around here and play smarter in these transitions and post-Ubers.
Yeah, they've built themselves a little bit of an Uber, maybe 15-20%. I doubt they're going to want to go with that. As they're still sitting on this middle point, building it up 75% from Terry, so they got some time before anything crazy happens, and then I'm sure we'll see some sacks coming in from both sides, as we still have no off classes on the field at the moment, but we're going to be ready to go here. There is 12 minutes left on the clock. It is 2-1 on the side of Midnight Society, so it's been a very close game, a lot of back and forth play so far. Not over yet. It's going to be Brian, who looked like he wanted to bomb, but decided against it.
He messed up his rocket jump, so he's going to get rebuffed. There's actually a trap waiting for him just above that little entranceway, so he might end up just jumping into 4 awaiting stickies. We'll see. He's kind of just getting some spam off right now, just trying to feel out where the medic is, I think. And actually, he was just distracting. Space Cadet comes in and gets the force. I was even distracted, so well played by BLANC there. Space Cadet getting that force off, and now BLANC, they're going to probably just wait for this respawn, and looks like Perfection's getting antsy and lower. He wants to make something happen, but he might just think better of it and back off here. They're going to need to get this force when BLANC start pushing into 2.
Yeah, Brian getting kind of thrown around, but the Scouts doing a lot of work here. Dish Soap gets the 1v1 frag onto Yuki. That's going to open things up for his team. Dunker in a lot of trouble as well. Ghost Stack all over that player. So with no soldiers on the side of this team, Perfection as well, trying to get something, but in a Scout 1v1 against the buff Scout, Dish Soap's going to come out on top. That leaves only 3 left alive now on the side of Midnight Society, and they're looking like they're in a bit of trouble. Only 50% Ubercharge from Lizar as they're walking in this lower area. They pop it off the Ubercharge. Lizar, not long for this world, does get taken down. G-Gen just bombs back to his team, but you can see nobody on BLANC's playing the point. That's okay. They're just looking at the players behind. They're getting 3 frags. Ghost Stack now focusing the point, now running onto it. Brian getting a lot of damage down, but not taken out, and there we go, tied 2-2 with only 10.5 minutes remaining. Can we see another tie game, Mela?
It's certainly possible, but I do think that BLANC, at the end of the day, are going to be able to take this. Their mids are just far superior at this point. and if they can just clean up the rest of their game, I feel like they should be able to take the rest of it with relative ease. Nice last push there from them. They just took out all the solo players that had a bomb in, tried to delay for the respawns. They played it well and tied 2-2.
What do you do in a close mid, or what do you do in a close game? You run sniper and pyro to mid. That's the strat from Midnight Society. We see how it goes on this mid fight. Perfection up on sniper, Yuki playing that pyro class. So interesting strategy. They're definitely not going to be getting too aggressive, and that's going to help him out. Getting an opening frag onto Dish Soap, so the sniper already putting in work. Yuki's been doing a good job. Now he's flaming the bombing soldier. Space Cadet getting in, but now we see the aggression happen from these standard 60 classes. Perfection with a quick headshot onto the scout now. Ghost Stack going down, and we can see Nuthouse just putting in all the work. Needs to get this last frag on a Terry, but Terry got the Uber stall, and he was able to pop Uber charge off and run away. Now, is it going to be enough? He needs to retreat back to some teammates, and it's going to be just fading now. He does reconnect with Dish Soap, so as long as Dish Soap doesn't die in this 1v1 to Nuthouse, as long as Dish Soap doesn't die, he's now forcing the enemy team scout out, and Space Cadet's here to make sure that nothing silly happens in that. So great escape by Terry.
Yeah, Nuthouse trying to do his best there at the end to get the med, but the respawns come in, and now 100% on the side of Midnight. They're holding mid. They're going to have to push with the sniper, so he's going to have to hit more headshots, which he had no problem doing on that mid fight at all. So he's going to have to do a bit more of that as they walk into 2 here. Looks like Saw is going to be where they're pushing from, as Yuki just trying to gain a bit of ground. Nothing really in position to spam. Space Connector getting aggressive, but he takes 100 damage rocket, and Kratos goes down to the stickies. Perfection trades 1 headshot, 2 headshots. Another one goes second, another one off to headshot. Cleaned up by Nuthouse. Perfection just, a quick 450 damage from, 200 yards away with these. Terry and Dish Soap, they are on last with 100%. Dish Soap is going to have to go massive here against the whole team. He's going to be an invincible scout as the rest of his soldiers on the respawn, they're coming in. Brian gets the kill onto Yuki, and Midnight just kind of hanging in too long. They give up a whole lot of picks there. Perfection is trying to get a good position on 2 to get another pick here, and G-Gen running out. Scout's aggressive right onto the demo, and now onto Perfection. Perfection didn't even know that scout was flying in there. Dish Soap just landing on his head and getting the 2 shots. So that's the sniper down, and that's been the key factor in this round so far for Midnight.
Yeah, we'll see if Perfection chooses to stay on that class or if he's going to switch off to soldiers. So coming up now, yeah, he's going to go back to his standard class, staying on that soldier. So even Uber charges, we're sort of in a stalemate situation. Nope, changing his mind. I do kind of like this sniper play a little bit better here. Just because we're in a bit of a stalemate situation, he can work his way in and maybe look for that window or anything. I mean, 2 is a very big point. It's pretty open for BLANC. They're going to be aware, all right? They've eaten enough headshots in the last, 3 minutes to hopefully be cautious of their positioning. But still, the sniper on the field is going to make it really tough for BLANC to play in the positions they want to play in.
Yep, window on Snakewater, favorite spot for snipers, of course. That is where he's going to be peeking from here. Seeing if Scout's jumping around on the railing. It's so kind of close. Space Cadet actually gets aggressive and takes out the sniper. So now a pretty good opportunity here for BLANC to push, and it looks like they are going to take it as Brian. Actually, he eats the stickies and saw Terry now just trying to get out of there without taking damage. He succeeds in that. Space Cadet just going to little spam off lower, and BLANC, they're just going to be holding back on 2 now. Perfection probably spawning back on Sniper again, I would imagine. Yeah, he is.
So sticking with his favorite class, at least in this round, he's been hitting so many headshots. I mean, I don't blame him at all. They switched off the Pyro after mid, which I think is probably a good idea. But even then, I mean, the Pyro didn't do too bad at the mid. Reflected a lot of good spam, and so I liked, I mean, going back a little bit here, but I like that. The mids weren't going their way, and so they switched up. They bring in a couple of off classes, and now they've been in the power position this whole time. Looks like Dish Soap does eat a headshot and has to back off. He didn't end up dying from it, and still we see Perfection trying to get these shots, even on low HP. I mean, he's still staying in, trying to make some sort of a miracle play happen, but hasn't gotten it just yet.
Yeah, BLANC, they're just weary of this sniper, trying to lock down the positioning. Space Cadet, on the last effort from Perfection, did a good job of just getting the rockets off on him, and Midnight wasn't really in a position to defend him, so it seems like they might be more aware of that now. As you can see, they have stickies on the window there from G-Gen. He's ready for that soldier to fly through, and BLANC, they're just holding back. Perfection gets the pick on Brian, so now potential here for Midnight to make a push in. Yuki actually getting aggressive, but Space Cadet predicts that. Gets a nice 100 damage rocket on him, and Scout getting aggressive lower alone. That's just so he might go down. Somehow he's alive, not really taking much damage, interestingly enough, despite fighting multiple players there. And he's still in, and he gets perfection. I don't know how he's allowed to do that. And now 2 down on the side of Midnight. 1 down as the respawn comes in. But BLANC, they're getting aggressive. Ghost Stack down. This is some chaos here. Solo players just trying to do what they can and not really maybe always thinking about what's best for the team. Just kind of getting aggressive on their lonesome and going down. And this is going to result in another stalemate. Perfection, new off class here on the Spy.
Yeah, the issue for both teams in this has been, I mean, a lot of guys have been dying, but it's been sort of one at a time, and it's been the same amount on each team. You can just tell how even these players are, or these teams are, and the players on the team as well. We have a Spy on each, and Perfection pops the Dead Ringer, running in behind the enemy team. Ghost Stack is up on Spy as well, so now they might know that there's a Spy in behind. I mean, they're still being very cautious. Dishope is still looking around, so they might suspect that it was a Dead Ringer. It's not a common item you see in 6v6, but yeah, they might have just fooled him with that. Meanwhile, Ghost Stack has decloaked the back lines.
Yeah, Ghost Stack trying to go for a Spy play of his own. Perfection tries his best to do a trick stab, not really paying off. Ghost Stack getting some damage on Lazar, but Force doesn't come out, so both teams lacking the standard Spy here as Space Cadet kind of trying to make something happen lower. He's been playing that window and lower area, just seeing if he can catch anyone out time and time again, but no one from Midnight giving him that opportunity, so just waiting on the respawns here again. I'd imagine there may be some more off classes in our future. Actually, Perfection now on Soldier again, and I don't know. But Ghost Stack is on Spy.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, these teams are so evenly matched. One team runs in a Spy that doesn't get anything. The other team runs in a Spy that doesn't get anything. I mean, just back and forth, back and forth. Yuki going to be going for a bomb here, right in on the medic, and perfectly timed onto Terry. Got that first rocket off, and then was able to get the force off with the second. So now Ghost Stack is really in a position where he needs to get something, and he kind of needs to get it fast, because there's going to be a push pretty soon on the side of Midnight Society. There's only 3 minutes left in this game, so after that happens, it'll either be tied or one of these teams will be crowned the victor. And I mean, Ghost Stack is so far back at this point, he's not even really relevant to what's going on. Already, everybody's on this second point. They've gotten a lot of time onto it, and you can tell BLANC, they're just trying to retreat at this point. And Yuki runs into the Spy, loses the 1v1 to Ghost Stack, who gets him down with the revolver. But of course, that does give away his position, and that means that there's only 5 players in front of him. So Midnight Society can keep going with this. They have to be wary of the Spy, but with this 100% Uber charge, they're going to be getting in onto last Perfection, jumping up on this right-hand side. Nuthouse immediately onto the medic, exactly what he had to do. Now they're going to be able to pop the Uber charge off safely. Ghost Stack still on Spy, finds Nuthouse, again not able to get any stabs, and this is quickly going in favor of BLANC Esports here, as they're going to get G-Gen and Nuthouse. That leaves 5 still alive in their team, but silver lining is there's 2.5 minutes remaining, and Lizard has Uber advantage.
Yeah, that Spy almost cost them dearly, and you know, potential for a round there on the side of Midnight. It looked like they were possibly going to be able to get that. They got the pick onto Terry in the last push, but they weren't able to clean up the rest of the frags. This block just doing a good job of kiting those buff players. And now at this point, it's going to be Midnight holding mid again. No off classes, but they have a pretty significant advantage that I'm assuming they're going to go off of here.
Yeah, they've already built it up to 80%, 45 on the side of Terry. So they should be looking to go with this. BLANC, they have to be aware of this. You can tell they're all playing a lot more passively than they were before. They're up on those bats, and they're willing to let this team just kind of walk in, because by the time that they get all the way back to last, I mean, Terry's already at 80%, and with the frag on a G-Gen, great job by Hedgehog Hero. That's going to definitely slow down Midnight Society long enough so that it will be an even Uber trade as they get in onto this last point. Minute and a half remaining, so it's basically going to come all down to this. The best BLANC can really hope for is a tie right now. I mean, maybe if they went right away and they went so fast, they could get that round, but realistically, with even Uber charges right now, they're looking for the tie.
Yeah, at this point, you can imagine there might be a soldier going in, maybe a scout. Perfection fighting scout at lobby. He's going to go down there as Space Cadet helps out his teammates, so 1 down here on the side of Midnight. Potential maybe for BLANC to push, but it's certainly tough to push out of Snakewater last with just one pick. So many places to hide for a potential back cap, and it's not easy to clear them all out. So they're just going to continue holding here. No off classes, which isn't totally necessary, as Ubers are even perfection. However, on the side of Midnight, we'll be going Sniper, going to try to get the pick. I think he's actually switched. He's on the Machina now, so I'm going to try to get those collaterals.
Well, there's only 30 seconds, so I'm not really sure what his plan is here. Basically, his team is down a player unless he can get some really big headshots. At this point, Nuthouse has been completely disconnected from Lizar. He reconnects now, and he's not going to end up dying. They get the frag out of Brian. He's even, but Dunker doesn't look long for this world taken down. Big bomb by Yuki. Should get the frag out of the medic and the scout. There goes all the damage. They didn't even need their sniper.
I don't even know what to say there. Somehow, Midnight walked into last, like 5v6, Uber v Uber, somehow managed to get 2 picks, and then the sniper came in, and I mean, the sniper wasn't even really relevant to that fight. Somehow, just 5v6, they managed to kill everyone on BLANC. I mean, and most of it just came down to Yuki, just huge soldier damage, and well played to Midnight. Somehow they managed to pull it off in a really tough situation. I mean, the percentage, like if you ran that play 100 times, the amount of times that Midnight wins is very, very, very low. So, I mean, incredible that they actually managed to pull that off. Well played to them. And yeah, they take the map 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, that was incredible. With less than 10 seconds on the clock, Midnight Society are able to come out and clutch that win. Very, very close. We do have logs up on our screen now. Top fragger is going to be 21 from Marquis. Damage per minute is going to be going in the favor of Brian. So despite having the top fragger and the top damager on their team, BLANC Esports are going to end up with the loss tonight. Very close by both teams, and I can't believe that it wasn't a tie.
Yeah, that is honestly insane. BLANC have to be really upset at that result. You know, they're a team that's likely kind of on the cusp of making the playoffs here in the tournament. So it definitely sucks for them to lose in that fashion. Yeah, no one really standing out too much on either team. Brian definitely, I think, played really, really well. So did Space Cadet. Both soldiers just doing massive damage, which you can see in the logs there. Perfection getting high damage, a lot of that off the back of his sniping. I think that G-Gen also played pretty well. Yeah, he had a good game, and you know, Yuki got some damage in and was super. I mean, he was a massive reason why they won at the end there. And you know, I think maybe the key for the side of Midnight possibly being Nuthouse, statistically second highest in frags, highest in scout damage, second highest. Kind of hard to judge since the scouts on the side of Midnight were switching, but he was consistently there as a presence, and he was getting frags throughout. Always felt like he was always getting 1 to 2 kills in every fight, and that was just keeping them in the game. And then Perfection making huge plays on Sniper. So just a, you know, kind of a weird game where you would expect BLANC to win, but kind of massive individual efforts in certain particular fights from players on Midnight just put them ahead at the end.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I mean, BLANC being the intermediate team, they were the favorites going into this. Not even a bad intermediate team. I mean, I think they're 4-1 right now, so that's a very respectable record. So you would have thought they went in, and even in the first half of that match, I mean, when they were up like 2-1, or even like when it was tied 2-2, they seemed to be just dominating on mid fights and overall getting the better of the plays despite being down at certain points. But then they had that really wacky mid where Midnight Society brought in a sniper and a pyro, and the sniper just went off, and he didn't switch off the sniper, and it worked out, and he kept hitting shots, and yeah, it ended up going really, really well for them. So yeah, great game. We have more TF2 coming up. That was only the second of 5 games happening in this tournament tonight, so plenty more where that came from. Stick around here on Essentials.tf.
Okay.